Hare Krishna, everyone. Warm welcome for our Bhagavad Gita study session. So today as well we'll begin actually from second chapter, contents of the Gita summarized. And as we have been doing last few days, uh, expect a mishmash in language, Hindi and English, but the book is certainly pure, unadulterated Bhagavad Gita as it is, and also going through the translations and purport. We pray to invoke the blessings of Acharyas, Vaishnavas, Lord Shri Krishna, that we can get the message as it is and imbibe it in our life as it is. And see, when things are done in the as it is manner, life becomes much simple. Life is very simple. When we um, life becomes much simple when we have someone who gives us very good, clear instructions, and we just need to follow those instructions. It's just having faith on that personality, and this is what Krishna is doing with Arjuna as well, or will do. Krishna will guide Arjuna. Arjuna allows himself. No? Arjuna allowed himself to be used by Krishna, to be guided by Krishna. And that is the thing we need to do. We need to give ourselves to Krishna so that he can use us, he can guide us, he can motivate us. Just that is the only thing required. And our problem is that we don't give ourselves to Krishna. That's our problem. We don't give ourselves wholeheartedly to Krishna. Or if at all, we give half-hearted, or less than half-hearted, or whatever. But anyways, the journey of Bhagavad Gita, the study of Bhagavad Gita will help us, and a day will come when we will give ourselves wholehearted to Krishna, hopefully in this life itself. So things become easy when we have someone whom we can rely upon and get clear instructions, understanding, and apply it in our lives as it is. Without it's such a it frees us when we don't have to apply sort of personal judgmental thoughts and intelligence as such. It really frees us a lot. Everyone now is in a way, I mean, if not tech savvy, still everyone uses computers, laptop, mobile phone, right? Heavily. So much so that even my parents, they are in their mid 60s, yeah, mid late 60s now. Even my parents, like, they know now things like Zoom, Link, and stuff, and at least copy paste. My parents may not be knowing copy paste. Some of our parents may not be knowing copy paste thing, but I'm sure all of us in this Zoom meeting we know copy paste, right? Uh, and Krishna consciousness is nothing but copy paste. It's nothing but a copy paste. Copy paste in the sense whatever we hear from coming from disciplic succession, Prabhupada's spiritual masters, then current spiritual masters. So whatever we hear coming from the disciplic succession and whatever Lord Krishna said, that in an unadulterated form, copy it and paste it in our lives. Copy it and paste it in our lives. Um, And we don't cut it. We want to keep it. Copy it as in, okay, the original still remains and I have pasted it in my life. And that is what needs to be passed on as well. तो पूरा कृष्णा भावनामृत यही है कैसे हम अम, आनुगत्य में आके है ना वैष्णवों की गुरुजनों की आनुगत्य में आके उनके चरणों में अपने आप को आश्रित करके उन्हीं से श्रवण करें और वो जो श्रवण करेंगे वो चित्त में हमारे कंपन पैदा करेगा ही करेगा चित्त में हमारे रोमांच कंपन हलचल पैदा करेगा ही करेगा और हमें कृष्ण की ओर लेके ही जाएंगे तो इतना ही करना है बस वरिष्ठ वैष्णवों से वरिष्ठ वैष्णवों से महत पुरुष से जीवन में यही प्रार्थना करनी है कि वरिष्ठ वैष्णव महत पुरुष शुद्ध भक्त हमारे जीवन में आए और उनके मुखारविंद से हम भगवत कथा का श्रवण करें और उस भगवान कथा का श्रवण करेंगे, हमारे चित्त में रोमांच उत्पन्न होगा। और हम अग्रसर होंगे ही होंगे फिर भगवत भजन के लिए। यही कृष्ण भावनामृत है। सुनना और फिर सुन के ये ऐसा है ना कि भाई हम अपने छाती तक रख ही नहीं पाएंगे इसको। जहाँ भी हम जाएंगे ना, इनएविटेबली हम कृष्ण कथा शेयर करेंगे ही करेंगे। तो आज के सत्संग का हम फिर शुभारंभ करें, है ना, विद मंगलाचरण। वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योग शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराण श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीर धारी कृपाम्बुधिय तमहं प्रपद्ये। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणं। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। अगेन बहुत बहुत स्वागत आप ही सभी का आपका भागवत गीता अध्ययन सत्र में। सो आई शेयर माय स्क्रीन एंड वी go through the second chapter, contents of the Gita summarized. अब भगवान का प्लान तो दिव्य प्लान है। देखिए दूसरे अध्याय में भगवान ने हमें सार पकड़ा है ना, सार। क्योंकि हम कलयुग के जीव है ना भाई, हम बिना फायदे बिना सार के हम आगे बढ़ते नहीं है। तो हमें ये सार अति आवश्यक है। तो भगवान ने अर्जुन के सारे प्रश्नों का देखिए समाधान दूसरे अध्याय में कर देंगे, सहजता से सरलता से। वैसे भी कृष्ण जो कुछ भी करते हैं ना, सहजता सरलता से ही करते हैं एकदम। Whatever Krishna does, he does it effortlessly. He doesn't have to make any efforts as such. The only, not struggle as such, but the only thing lacking, say, for Krishna is to get our attention. That's the only thing. And we are so adamant in our conditioned state. We are so adamant that we are not giving our best due right attention to Krishna. So that's kind of the only thing lacking as such. But even if it is say lacking, it doesn't diminish Krishna in any way as such. Uh, because Krishna is after our attention, as in our loving attention, our freely loving attention, and in pure love, there's not a tinge of force. जहाँ शुद्ध प्रेम होता है ना, शुद्ध भाव होता है ना, वहाँ समर्पण का भाव रहता है। समर्पण से पता चलता है कि कितना प्रेम है, समर्पण से। तो वहाँ पे जबरदस्ती नहीं होती है। वहाँ तो प्रेमी का सुख ही देखा जाता है बस। तो भगवान ने अर्जुन के सारे प्रश्नों का समाधान दूसरे अध्याय में कर दिया और सहजता से। एनीथिंग कृष्णा डज इज एफर्टलेसनेस ओनली, बट ही हैज टू स्टिल सी गॉड इज परफेक्ट एंड कंप्लीट, है ना, गॉड इज परफेक्ट एंड कंप्लीट। तो कृष्णा फॉर हिम सृष्टि की रचना करना, क्रिएशन ऑफ दिस वर्ल्ड एंड मेनी अदर थिंग्स इज जस्ट एन एफर्टलेस प्ले, just a child's play for him. But where does Krishna need to put his efforts? Is he needs to put his efforts when he is in in contact or say with his ब्रजवासीज, है ना, विशेष करके गोपियों के। उनको भगवान को बहुत एफर्ट्स लगाना पड़ता है। कृष्णा रियली हैज टू put up a lot of efforts. He really has to step up. He has to always play his A game, when he is in dealings with the Brajvasis. Because Krishna is under the control of the Brajvasis, his pure devotees. So that ways, but otherwise for him everything is like effortless, effortless. अभी ये भागवत गीता का ज्ञान भी दिव्य शुद्ध ज्ञान, ये थोड़ी ना, अब देखिए ना, इसको भगवान को कोई रिवीजन की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है, कोई रिवीजन थोड़ी ना करना पड़ा। अभी युद्ध भूमि में एक प्रकार से एकाएक अचानक ही अर्जुन ने ये प्रश्न करने लगे ना, हाँ? और ऐसा थोड़ी ना भगवान फिर कुछ चिंतन कर रहे हैं, ध्यान कर रहे हैं, ये लगा रहे हैं और फिर दे रहे हैं। भाई सहज ही भगवान बता रहे हैं। सो कृष्णा, इट्स नॉट, it could appear that okay, all of a sudden Arjun is asking all these questions, and Krishna wasn't anticipating these questions to come about. But that doesn't mean, I mean, that it's not like that, okay, Krishna had to then take a pause, think, reflect, and all, just let calm down, take a deep breath, and then response. No, naturally, Krishna responded to all of Arjuna's queries and settles down everything in the second chapter. Also, see the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad is unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, na? Directly related to Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Gita, we understand, means what does Gita? EV says Gita means song. Na? So the song sung by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself from his lotus lips. क्या अर्जुन का सौभाग्य देखिए, भगवान के साक्षात मुखमंडल का दर्शन कर रहे हैं, भगवान की वाणी का श्रवण कर रहे हैं एट सच अ क्लोज फिजिकल डिस्टेंस से. हम्म, तो now see, in this big battlefield, in this war, in the midst of this war, where there is huge crisis, na, huge decision making is required. But Krishna is speaking this divine knowledge to Arjuna in a song form, to boost his morale, to boost his motivation, to give him hope and strength, and also a message to the opponents that, dear opponents, do not discard Arjuna. Do not just now, what did they say, um, side him out. Huh? Do not think that, okay, Arjuna is, he's like, he's not fit anymore, he's become invalid, he's dysfunctional. No, not at all. So just by his, in the song form and this dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, a message for others as well. Likewise, a message for us, mainly for us. Actually, as we progress in our study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we should realize that this is a personal dialogue Krishna is having with me, and Krishna has spoken this personally for me. Until and unless this personal relationship, initiative, or this personal experience realization doesn't come about, we would be missing out on some charm in the practice of Krishna consciousness. No? Krishna is a very personal person. He's the most personal person. So much so that he has made a home for himself in our hearts since eternity. No? So much so that he knows us in and out way more than what we know ourselves. तो भगवान एक व्यक्तिगत पर्सन है, व्यक्तिगत व्यक्ति है, अत्यंत ही व्यक्तिगत व्यक्ति है. ऐसे व्यक्तिगत व्यक्ति है कि कृष्ण ने हमारे हृदय में अपने लिए घर बना ही लिया, बना ही रखा अनादिकाल से. और इतना प्रेम से, इतने बढ़िया से हमें जानते हैं भगवान, जितना हम स्वयं को नहीं जानते. और ना ही कोई हमारा पति पत्नी माँ बाप बच्चे भी हमें उतना अच्छे से जानते होंगे. असंभव, एकदम असंभव. है ना? तो भगवान ने ये गीत रूप में गाया और ये समझाने के लिए कि भाई ये व्यक्तिगत संदेश है कृष्ण का. किसके लिए? अभिषेक, एलन, है ना, ईवी, प्रतीक, फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस. ये व्यक्तिगत संदेश है कृष्ण का हम सभी के लिए. और जब ये, इसी में जब हमारा ऐसा व्यक्तित्व बनेगा ना, तो फिर हमारी कृष्णा भावनामृत की जो क्रिया है वो एकदम और दिव्यता के सोपान को पाएगी और उफान आएगा उसमें. और भगवान यही बता रहे हैं कि देखिए इस युद्ध भूमि में इस अ, गान गीत के रूप से ये संदेश दे के, तो हमें भी यही समझना चाहिए कि हमारा जीवन भी कोई युद्ध भूमि से कम नहीं है ना. दिन प्रतिदिन कुछ ना कुछ लगा ही रहता है इत्यादि. लेकिन हम भागवत गीता का आश्रय लेना, तो भाई कितना ही कौतूहल हो, जीवन तो एकदम गीत रूप में मधुरता ही से ही बढ़ते चलेगा. तो इसी आशा, अभिलाषा, प्रेरणा, प्रार्थना से हम आज का आरंभ करते हैं, है ना, भागवत गीता का हमारा अध्ययन और दूसरा अध्याय और पहला श्लोक है. बहुत सुंदर श्लोक है, सारे ही गजब के हैं. तो संजय उवाच तं तथा कृपयाविष्टमश्रुपूर्णकुलेक्षणं विषीदन्तम् इदं वाक्यम् उवाच मधुसूदन. Abhishek, you read translation, just translation. Huh?
Yeah. Sanjay, uh, Sanjay said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion and his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana, Krishna spoke the following words.
Evie, please read purport.
Material compassion, lamentation, and tears are all signs of ignorance of the real self. Compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization. The word Madhusudana is significant in this verse. Lord Krishna killed the demon Madhu, and now Arjuna wanted Krishna to kill the demon of misunderstanding that had overtaken him in the discharge of his duty. No one knows where compassion should be applied. Compassion for the dress of a drowning man is senseless. A man fallen in the ocean of nescience cannot be saved simply by rescuing his outward dress, the gross material body. One who does not know this and laments for the outward dress is called a Sudra, or one who laments unnecessarily. Arjuna was a Kshatriya, and this conduct was not expected from him. Lord Krishna, however, can dissipate the lamentation of the ignorant man, and for this purpose, the Bhagavad Gita was sung by him. This chapter instructs us in self-realization by an analytical study of the material body and the spirit soul, as explained by the Supreme Authority, Lord Sri Krishna. This realization is possible when one works without attachment to fruitive results and is situated in the fixed conception of the real self. So Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana, Krishna spoke the following words.
Thank you, Evie. Yeah. The purport is amazing, especially we see the first sentence in the purport. Huh? The Pratik, read the first sentence in purport, just the first sentence.
Material compassion, lamentation, and tears are all signs of ignorance of the real self.
Read again and read second sentence as well.
Material compassion, lamentation, and tears are all signs of ignorance of the real self. Compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization.
Yes, compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization. I mean, up until now we had been crying in life, even if not physically crying as such, but crying means like dying, hankering, lamenting, and all. But all our such lamentation, hankering is for material stuffs only. Hardly any spiritual cry. Hardly any spiritual cry. So compassion also what we uh, kind of exhibit is all largely on bodily platform of life, wrapped within the modes of material nature, because we are unaware of our real identity and our real potential as well. तो अर्जुन संजय कह रहे हैं ना कि अर्जुन की स्थिति देखिए, तम तथा कृपया विष्टम अश्रुपूर्ण कुलेक्षणम, पूरे रोने लगे आंखों से, है ना, विषीदंतम, रोते हुए विलाप करते हुए, भगवान से वो कह रहे हैं, मधुसूदन नाम से संबोधित किया कृष्ण को, जिस कृष्ण का एक नाम क्या, मधुसूदन, जिसने मधु दानव का वध किया भगवान ने। तो मधुसूदन, तो अर्जुन कह रहे हैं कृष्ण को कि हे कृष्ण, जैसे आपने मधु दानव का वध किया, वैसे ही मेरे क्या भूत पकड़ लिया मेरे को, क्या भूत चढ़ गया, मेरे सर सवार हो गया। वास्तव में अब मैं कुछ समझ ही नहीं पा रहा हूँ। तो कृपा करके इस भूत का मेरे से निवारण करिए। डू अ गुड exorcism फॉर मी, है ना, on me. Somehow I've been captured by this ghost. So kindly help me out. ये अति आवश्यक है ना, like we discussed yesterday also. So like a person who is drowning, it makes all the sense to save the person, and if needed be, let go his uh, trouser, shirt or whatever. No, the person has to be saved. And in the process of saving a drowning man, a drowning person, if I have to say scratch his leg as well, scratch his feet, cause him some harm, no problem. We will do that. We will do that because the person is valuable. Huh? And in that, if I have to lose his wallet, say mobile phone, even mobile phone, oh my God, even mobile phone can be lost for that matter. No? If the mobile phone and wallet with say passport, driving license, whatnot, and bank card and mobile phone with all Gmail, with all TikTok stuff and all everything, if it goes, wow, one can show this much of daring, right? To save the person. So person is utmost important. Likewise, the person is who we living entities, as in spirit souls, spiritual beings, sparks, energies, residing in this material body. And Arjuna's all lamentation, his cry is all for matter only. So it was a bit surprising for Krishna that how come Arjuna you are saying this? Huh? Likewise, it is no surprise us in our conditioned state we will say this only. एक बताऊं आश्चर्य कब होता है? देखिए, आश्चर्य तब नहीं होता है कि भाई कोई जैसे कल हमने बात करी थी ना कि एक भक्तिन माता, उसके लिए कोई बढ़िया एक लड़का ढूंढ रहे थे सगाई शादी के लिए ना, और उन्होंने मना कर दिया। क्यों? क्योंकि आपकी बेटी बहुत ज़्यादा ही पूजा-पाठ करने वाली है, हमें इतनी नहीं चाहिए, इतनी अच्छी बहू नहीं चाहिए हमें, है ना? इतनी शुद्ध, इतनी पवित्र बहू नहीं चाहिए हमें। हमें चाहिए जो थोड़ा-थोड़ा सा ड्रिंक करे इत्यादि ऐसे करके, हाँ। तो ये ऐसा, तो ऐसा जब हम सुनते हैं ना, कोई इतनी शौक की बात नहीं होती है, कोई इतना अचंभा नहीं होता हमें भई, क्या एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे? समाज संसार से यही एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे ना। लेकिन अचंभा तो तब हो जाता है जब कोई चला के बोले कि भाई मेरे को तो भक्तिन या भक्त से, है ना? भक्तिन या भक्त से विवाह करूँगा या करूँगी मैं। मेरे को अपना जीवन साथी जो है वो कोई भक्त या भक्तिन चाहिए जो माला करे, भगवान का भजन कीर्तन करे और मेरे को भी उसमें लगाए। तब बड़ा शौक लगता है। अच्छा भाई, है ना? तब शौक लगती है। अरे! द होल वर्ल्ड इज़ काइंड ऑफ traveling in a direction away from Krishna, very far away from Krishna. So, what is the shock? What can be expected from a conditioned person in a conditioned state? Nothing more, nothing big can be expected actually. So, this is what, let's see the next text as well. श्रीभगवानुवाच कुतस्त्वाकस्मलमिदं विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुष्टम् अस्वर्ग्यम् अकीर्तिकरमर्जुन. Diksha, read just translation.
Recording in Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but not to infamy.
Hmm.
Vachami.
Hmm. Now in purport, just read the first sentence. Diksha, read just the first sentence of the purport.
Yes, Bhaiya. Krishna and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical.
Hmm. So, see, this is what absolute means. Hmm? When we come across our study in Bhagavad Gita, we'll come across something is absolute. And what does absolute mean? Absolute means where there is no duality. Absolute means where there is no duality. So, as in Krishna, the person, and the Krishna, the name, they are identical. There is no difference. Krishna's soul, Krishna's body, Krishna's mind, Krishna's intelligence, they all are supremely divine, completely spiritual, and there's no difference. Krishna the name, Krishna the personality, there's no difference. That is absolute. And Krishna is all good, all one sided, all good. So, whatever Krishna does is good. And a sadhaka, the day we become a sadhaka, na, we'll realize sadhaka meaning a spiritual practitioner. Not just, okay, I have some interest in philosophy, I have some, yeah, I can debate, argue, logics and all. I've read here Eastern philosophy, Western philosophy. I know so many philosophers and all. Prabhupada said this beautiful thing. What? That religion without philosophy, religion without philosophy is sentimentalism. And philosophy without religion is mental speculation. हम्म? तो रिलीजन है, धार्मिक क्रिया है, लेकिन कोई दर्शन नहीं है, दर्शन नहीं है शास्त्रों का, या ऐसे शास्त्रीय या कोई फिलोसॉफिकल दर्शन नहीं है। तो वो क्या है, वो बस एक मनो का भाव ही है बस, है ना, अपने मन का चिंतन ही है, उस हिसाब से खुद की उपज के हिसाब से ही है सेंटिमेंटलिज्म ना। And this is what we see actually heavily throughout kind of the subcontinent in of India, or say even outside of India, even in Europe as well. Europe and throughout the world will find that what religious practice is there, but there is no philosophy applied. There is no backing up of philosophy. Like, I happen to meet devotees in the UK, in the United Kingdom. I was blessed enough to meet devotees in the UK, mm, and then naturally, like, many come from India and live in UK. So when devotees meet, okay, take a copy of Bhagavad Gita, and this was sort of pretty much my foolish nature. See, I didn't take actually initially a copy of Gita, and used to go to programs and like, well, Bhagavad Gita, I know Bhagavad Gita. I mean, there's Krishna, there's Arjun, there's some chit chat between the two. Arjun, in essence, Arjun doesn't want to fight. Krishna tells him to fight, and Arjuna finds. End of the story. What more? Have you got anything more for me? Is there anything more for me to know as such? Such was my such dull head, huh? But so I didn't know actually the real philosophy. What is the philosophy? What is the spiritual reality, absolute truth, and all? Anything, nothing like that. Just okay, there were some religious sentiments though, say, yeah, I would say that. Some interest in, say, devotion element. Certainly, perhaps that was there. Again, all by the blessings of um elderlies and everyone, say. So, रिलीजन विदाउट फिलोसॉफी, अभी भारत भर में ये है ना, बच्चे बच्चे को पूछो, "ए, भगवान का नाम बता छोटू", सब बोल देंगे, राम कृष्ण, है ना, ये करके। लेकिन भाई, अच्छा ये बता, फिर आत्मा और शरीर क्या है कुछ, हाँ ठीक है, मैं शरीर हूँ, आत्मा नहीं हूँ, यही। लेकिन इससे ज्यादा और कुछ नहीं। भागवत गीता के कोई 5 श्लोका सुना दे, नहीं जी। 5 श्लोका सुना दो, नहीं, नहीं पता। और 5 स्पोर्ट्स पर्सनैलिटी के नाम बता दो, टनाटन, 5 क्या 10 बता देंगे आपको, और बोलिए। 5 कोई बाहर के नेता इत्यादि, ये सब। आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि हम नहीं जाने करंट अफेयर्स एंड ऑल, ओके, गुड टू नो, गुड टू नो, बट व्हाई डू वी नॉट नो एंड रीड भागवत गीता एज़ वेल, हाँ? So think predominantly in India and perhaps outside of India as well. See, in India, डिवोशन तो रग रग में है, खून खून में डिवोशन है, हर भारतीय में, गली मोहल्ले में, है ना, बिट्टू से लेके बबलू तक लेके सब में खूब डिवोशन भरा हुआ है। बट चीज कमी किस चीज की है? बराबर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन या डिस्क्रिशन की, विवेक, विवेक की, बुद्धिमत्ता की, या ये अच्छी डिसीजन मेकिंग की, शास्त्रीय दर्शन की, उसकी भयंकर कमी है, भयंकर, भयंकर। क्यों? हम भागवत गीता तो पढ़ते ही नहीं है भाई। बचपन से एबीसीडी पढ़ लिया, चाचा चौधरी पढ़ लिया, टिंकल पढ़ लिया, फलाना ढिमकाना पढ़ लिया, फिर 10वीं 12वीं में आओ तो लबालब मेडिकल, इंजीनियरिंग, आईएएस, फलाना ढिमकाना करे रहो, मैनेजमेंट इत्यादि। भागवत गीता कब पढ़ेंगे? 60 के बाद, जब सठिया जाएंगे पूरा, तब देखेंगे। So this is the big thing. This devotion is certainly there, but people have lost sense of discrimination or vivek, and this is why हम मारे मारे फिरते हैं, भूले भटके से एकदम से फिरते हैं। And on the other side, if we see what, that uh, philosophy is there, but without any religious practice. Philosophy without religion. Uh, Beautiful quotes by Prabhupada in his tapes and classes and in his writings as well. He explains. So, philosophy is in this darshan understanding. I'm not this body. I'm a spirit, soul, antimatter, energy, and all the material elements, how they interact. There's that good some philosophical understanding, but there is no practice. There's no practice to soften our heart. There's no practice to cleanse our heart. Then what happens? It becomes a dry mental speculation. Everything on the platform of logic, everything on the platform of intellect. There's nothing like surrendering or expressing our love or engaging in some beloved activity looking for pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No. Yeah. And the whole world is wrapped within this only. And Krishna consciousness, it's a complete package, complete package. The highest philosophy, the topmost philosophy, the topmost understanding, all scripture based, bona fide, authorized, and to along with the scriptures and the philosophy, the darshan, the script is the practice as well, the holistic practice, everything. So the way it is nurtured, na, the way it is nurtured, the way it is, the way Prabhupada opened it to all of us, gave it to all of us, presented to all of us, so appealing, so relatable in this current fallen dark iron age that every one of us can take it to our hearts and relish it. See, real religion is something which makes our hearts soft. वही real religion है ना? Which makes us simple, which melts our hard-hearted heart and makes us of unconditional, unmotivated service nature towards superiors, towards the society, towards humanity at large, towards the source of our existence, Lord Shri Krishna. बट अगर इतना ही नहीं हो पा रहा है, यही हृदय सरल नहीं हो समझो, तो हम कहीं ना कहीं भाई लगे पड़े हैं, है ना? हम ऐसे खोदा पहाड़ निकली चुहिया, ऐसा ही हिसाब किताब होगा। श्री श्री खोड़ंताय मायापुर शशि की जय। देखिए, अगर हम किसी ऐसे ही सो कॉल्ड से धार्मिक, उसको सो कॉल्ड ही बोलेंगे, अगर हमारा हृदय का शुद्धिकरण नहीं हो रहा है ना, हृदय शुद्ध नहीं हो रहा है, तो वरना वो त्याग, तपस्या इत्यादि जो कुछ भी है ना, भागवतम के दर्शन के अंतर्गत बताते हैं, श्रम एव ही केवलम, केवल एक एफर्ट है और कुछ हाथ कुछ नहीं आना है। तो एब्सोल्यूट, एब्सोल्यूट मतलब दिव्य, है ना, बिना किसी द्वंद के। तो कृष्ण इज ऑल एब्सोल्यूट इन हिज नेचर, absolute kind, loving, and in his rascaldom as well also is absolute. Number one in every sense, number one cheater, number one liar, the source of lie also comes from Krishna. So Krishna, the name, the Krishna, the person, Krishna's mind, body, they are all non-different. This is what Shastras tell us, and this is what the chanting of Hare Krishna, when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when we read Srimad Bhagavad Gita, when we practice devotional service and all, we'll come to this realization, understanding, and naturally we'll bond our relationship with Krishna. And in this purport, Prabhupada explains what does the word Supreme Personality of Godhead mean. Na? Such a beautiful say. Personality means God is a person. Personality means he has some taste, he has some likes, dislikes, isn't it? He has some taste, he has likes, dislikes, huh? Friends, and some activities, some engagement, all such things. Krishna is a home, huh? And he has got all these engagements and all. So personality, supreme, and Godhead. Godhead. So like there are different gods. Even some places in Shastras, we are also gods, but tiny gods, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. Because we belong to Krishna, because we have that eternal bond with Krishna. तो हम भी भगवान ही हैं, छोटे भगवान। आता है ना, जैसे छोटा भीम, हम छोटे भगवान, क्योंकि हम भगवान के अंश हैं ना। कृष्ण अंशी, हम कृष्ण के अंश हैं। अब जैसे कोई अ, नौकर होता है, नौकर क्या करता है? नौकरी ना, एम्प्लॉय को क्या नौकर ही बोलेंगे ना, मुलाजिम, है ना, काम करने वाला। और किसके लिए सेवा करता है? ठाकुर के लिए, मालिक के लिए, एम्प्लॉयर के लिए ना, बॉस के लिए, कंपनी के लिए। तो एम्प्लॉय का वास्तविक सुख तो उसी में है कि भाई कंपनी के काम में आए, कंपनी के विजन को समझे, कंपनी के एजेंडा, मिशन को, इत्यादि को समझे और उस काम में आए। उसी प्रकार हमारा भी परम हित उसी में है कि हम कृष्ण की प्रेम, कृष्ण की सेवा में अपने आप को नियोजित करें। वहीं पे तो कृष्णा इज एब्सोल्यूट इन ऑल सेंस, और भगवान का सुप्रीम पर्सनैलिटी ऑफ गॉडहेड ना, गॉडहेड। सो वी आर ऑल्सो टाइनी गॉड्स, एंड देन देयर आर डिफरेंट एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर्स फॉर दिस कॉस्मिक वर्ल्ड। देवी देवता है ना कितने सारे इस ब्रह्मांड के रख रखाव के लिए इत्यादि, सृष्टि की रचना क्रम के अंदर। तो ठीक है, वो सब भी देवी देवता डेमी गॉड्स हैं, वो सब भी गॉड हेड्स हैं, लेकिन सभी में मुख्य कौन, सुप्रीम कौन? मुख्य कृष्णा, है ना। तो शास्त्रों में और बताते हैं भगवान का वैसे कोई का नाम नहीं है, कि वैसे कोई नाम नहीं, कहने का आशा कि कोई भौतिक नाम नहीं है, रोनू सोनू या ऐसे करके, है ना। लेकिन भगवान के नाम है दिव्य नाम अनेकों, राम, नारायण, वरसिंह, नरसिम्हा इत्यादि, है ना। और भगवान के सारे नाम भगवान के गुणों के अनुसार। राम का अर्थ क्या? जो परम सुख को प्रदान करे, वो, है ना, जो रमाए हमें आनंद में एकदम से, लबालब जो आनंद से भरे हो। कृष्ण सर्व आकर्षक। तो भगवान के जितने भी नामों में राम, नरसिंहा, वरा, गोविंद, गोपाल इत्यादि अनेकों अनेकों नामों में जो एक नाम स्टैंड आउट करता है, सुप्रीम है, वो कृष्ण है, वो कृष्ण है। भयंकर मादुकता भरी भरी है इस कृष्ण नाम में, भयंकर मादुकता, भयंकर दिव्य रस, है ना। unimaginable, ever expanding, ever increasing intoxication, transcendental intoxication, sweetness is there in Krishna's name, Krishna. And this is, we have to unlock this mystery when we chant the holy names of Krishna, when we do japa. So ये supreme personality of Godhead. अब देखिए, this is the first shloka which Krishna is speaking, हाँ. And संजय ने बोला, धृतराष्ट्र ने बोला, तो हमने देखा ना, धृतराष्ट्र उवाच, संजय उवाच, अर्जुन उवाच। But here Krishna is speaking, so it is not Krishna uvacha, no. Neither it is Shri Krishna uvacha, no. क्या? श्री भगवान उवाच। शास्त्र समझते हैं ना, शास्त्र जानते हैं कि, शास्त्र जानते हैं हमारा स्वामी कौन है, हमारा पति कौन है, हम बद्ध जीव नहीं जानते और भागवत गीता के दर्शन से हमें समझना है। तो शास्त्र बोलते हैं श्री भगवान उवाच है ना? We see first text in the very first text in Srimad Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Dhritarashtra and it says Dhritarashtra speaks. Dhritarashtra says. Then Sanjay says, Arjuna says, but when it comes to Krishna, it doesn't say Krishna says or Sri Krishna says. It says Bhagwan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said. Okay, any question or comment? Anyone wants to say or share anything, please? And again, feel free to cut me out anytime. You need not wait as such for me to stop. Huh? So, Bhagwan, the definition, see the word, English word God. Anyone wants to say what does the word God mean? And it's, I believe it's an English word. If someone can correct me on this, I don't think so. It's a Hebrew word, no. I believe it's an English word, but someone if can correct me, then would like to be corrected. And what does this word God mean? Go on then, godly people. Let me know what does the word God mean.
Everything, in a way.
Yeah, sweet. Everything in a way. That's Evie's makeup, by the way. Huh? I don't think so. The whole world will kind of generally takes it like God has everything in a way. Perhaps, maybe, yeah. But what I mean to say is there any kind of scriptural? We don't see any scriptural emphasis or backing or saying of it. Pratik, Abhishek, Harsha, Diksha, and then what do you think? Does God have a meaning or is there a meaning? Uh, See, the general understanding in India, at least, by God means what? Many people, if you check them out, if we check them out, oh, and especially someone from um, Western countries and all, oh dear sir, you come from, you are in based in a holy land. India is a spiritual holy country, blah 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 blah. And if you check them, dear sir, kindly tell us what does the word God mean? God, yeah, God. G for generator, O for operator, D for destroyer. That's God for you. Yeah, that's like okay. It so happened, but it's not like the Shastriya meaning of God. No. Yeah, ठीक है, and the D for G for generator, as in Lord Brahma, he created the universe. Yeah, he's the principal engineer. He's the main engineer, but from where did he get the knowledge and wisdom from Krishna, which we understand from Bhagavatam, especially second canto, chapter 9, mm, and uh, op- operator. So Lord Vishnu, yeah, he maintains that portfolio of maintenance, the heaviest portfolio. And Lord Shiva, the destroyer, yeah, that's fine, that's there. Also, these are within the material modes, operator, generator, and destroyer. But really this isn't what God means. So the God, English word God, is more of a alien or more of a impersonal word. But Krishna, yeah, this is why when Prabhupada registered the society, he registered it as what? He himself came up with this name, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And some of his well-wishers, friends, followers, disciples perhaps, they just put forward this thought to Prabhupada that Prabhupada, Swamiji, if you go with this name, you may not have a good appeal. You may not get a good attraction or following. International, your name sounds more of a Hindu or sectarian and all. Eh? Better would be for you if you go by the name International Society for God Consciousness. Then, yeah, you can appeal to worldwide audience. But Prabhupada said, no, God is more of an impersonal. It doesn't give any feelings, emotions. It doesn't bring about any message. And Krishna. And again, the whole Krishna consciousness philosophy, Prabhupada, and we are aspiring to be the children of Prabhupada. We are aspiring to have that quality. Yes, who's my grandfather? Who's my granddad? Like children take so much of pride in it, in the on their granddads and all. So yeah, we aspire that yes, I can say wholeheartedly, with good faith and sincerity one day through my whatever desires that yes, I belong to this parampara, Vaishnava parampara. Hmm? So Prabhupada said, no, Krishna, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. People may think it is sectarian, but Krishna consciousness is anything but sectarian. It is completely non-sectarian. And this will give us an opportunity to present the Shastras, the scriptures, the message of Krishna, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, you know, Mahaprabhu's message. And again, we are not like wanting to have someone practice Krishna consciousness at gunpoint. No, no. It's just out of love only. Out of love. One should check it out thoroughly for oneself. Yes. And bit by bit, take it on. Then, so International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So Krishna, na? Krishna, the person, the all attractive personality. And we see elsewhere in Chaitanya Charitamrita and other places the word Krishna, what it means, and so much of narration commentary is there on Krishna. Unlimited actually. So Prabhupada establishes in this what does the word God, like Bhagavan, the Sanskrit word for God is Bhagwan. What does it mean? One who is the possessor of all opulences. And all opulences predominantly Parashar Muni in Vishnu Puran, the father of Srila Vyasdev. In Vishnu Puran 6.547, he assembled all opulences into six broad opulences, which are what? Uh, Knowledge. No one possesses knowledge like Krishna. No. Then this I'm a bit rushing through, say, huh? Knowledge, and then what? Wealth. The knowledge in Bhagavad Gita is unparalleled. We wouldn't find any such knowledge anywhere as such. Huh? Wealth. When Krishna was living in Dwarka 5,000 plus years back, where there is some historical evidence as well, if someone finds satisfaction in that historical evidence as well, yeah, great, there is actually. So Krishna lived in Dwarka with in 16,108 palaces with his 16,108 queens wives. Na? One palace for each of his wife and all huge grand. Uh, so the king of all wealth, Krishna, the king of all knowledge, Krishna, yeah. And then fame, so famous worldwide. Even if someone knows Krishna or doesn't know Krishna, everyone is actually directly or indirectly after Krishna only. And there's a book called Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. George Harrison, Shriman George Harrison, Beatles, who was in the Beatles group, he helped Prabhupada a lot in, yeah, must be 70s, right? 60s, 70s, yeah, in 70s. And he helped actually print, he sponsored the printing of Sri Krishna book. Also, he sponsored the Radha Krishna temple record, London temple record, and done lots of work for devotees. So in the preface, I believe, yeah, of that Sri Krishna book, George Harrison gives his autograph and he writes a note wherein he got the philosophy so nice. He says like everyone knowingly, unknowingly, willingly, unwillingly, directly, indirectly is after Krishna only. So Krishna is top class in fame. Everyone is kind of after Krishna only. Yeah. He's so top class in fame that he stole butter, he stole milk, buttermilk and all, butter, and yet his fame is known worldwide. So fame, the possessor of all fame, Lord Shri Krishna. All knowledge, Lord Shri Krishna. Wealth, Lord Shri Krishna. Strength, all strength, be it physical, mental, whatever we bring in. Possessor of all strength, Lord Shri Krishna. Then, possessor of all beauty, the beautiful personality, Krishna. Beautiful. Uh, mm, Lord Shri Krishna. I mean, and then the possessor of all renunciation, detachment, having all this opulence, yet not at all attached. Wow. That's the real strength in it. That's the real knowledge, isn't it? That's the real fame. That's the real beauty. Having everything is Krishna's only, yet he's not attached to it. As in, he's not materially attached. He's materially fully renounced. Fully renounced. Krishna doesn't know what is matter, and we do not know what is spirit. That's the irony. But we do not know yet. Once we start chanting the holy names of Krishna, once we start listening to classes, reading Shrimad Bhagavatam and Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, we'll come to our spiritual consciousness. We'll come to our spiritual identity. So much so renounced, like see in this Bhagavad Gita itself, towards the end, once Krishna has given all knowledge, wisdom to Arjuna, he tells Arjuna, okay, deliberate over it, whatever we have discussed. Think carefully. If you want me to repeat, I can repeat. And then now act as you like. So he gives Arjuna the full choice, the freedom, the option to act as he like. And Krishna is not say frustrated. He's not putting pressure or controlling Arjuna like that. No, do what I want. No, he's renounced. And we are not at all renounced. We are so like, especially we, we are control freaks. We want things to be having in a certain way. Mm. So we want things to be in a certain way. But Krishna isn't like that. Now tell me one person in this world. All of you, please tell, even if you can think, say, uh, who is the most, say, richest person in this world? Perhaps Jeff Bezos, the Amazon guy? Huh? Or let's say, yeah, let's
Elon
say
Musk.
Elon Musk. Okay, let's give it to Musk then this time. So, few things. Now, Elon Musk. Now, can I add another thing to it? इस संसार में बताइए सबसे धनवान व्यक्ति कौन है? तो चलो एक व्यक्ति है एलन मस्क नाम से, वो धनवान है। अब इसी में एक चीज हम और जोड़ देते हैं। अब बताइए इस संसार में सबसे धनवान व्यक्ति और सबसे ज्ञानवान व्यक्ति कौन है? हु इज मोस्ट रिच एंड मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल? भाई अब तो सॉरी, मोस्ट रिच एंड मोस्ट नॉलेजेबल बोल सकते हैं क्या हम एलन मस्क को कि भाई ये सबसे धनी भी है और सबसे ज्ञान भी है इसमें? चलो ठीक है, बोलने को बोल भी दो भाई। ठीक है, इसने अपने ज्ञान से ही पैसा बनाया इत्यादि, चलो ठीक है ना? फिर चलो अब इसमें और जोड़ते हैं जो सबसे यशस्वी भी है, फेमस, अ पर्सन हु इज द मोस्ट knowledgeable, most rich and most famous as well. अभी भी एलन मस्क टिकता है क्या? Does Elon Musk still hold true now? Not sure if he's most famous, है ना?
Bill
Don't think
Gates.
so. हाँ?
Bill Gates.
चलो ठीक है, ओके, चलिए फॉर नाउ लेट्स से ओके, बेन एलन मस्क, बिल गेट्स, जेफ बेजोस, दे होल्ड ऑल होल्ड ट्रू, हाँ?
Hmm.
ठीक है, अभी तक चलो समझो। तीनों चारों और भी किसी को भी ले आओ तो सब ट्रू, दे आर द मोस्ट रिचेस्ट। देखिए, मोस्ट कैन बी द टॉप मोस्ट रिचेस्ट कैन ओनली बी वन, इट कैन नेवर बी टू, बट फॉर द सेक ऑफ
Hmm.
सिंप्लिसिटी और चीजों को समझने के लिए, है पूरा जीवन इसीलिए मिला है, दिमाग लगाना है ना, दिमाग का एकदम पूर्ण इस्तेमाल करो भगवान की महिमा को समझने के लिए, भगवान को समझने के लिए। तो ये भी जो हम थोड़ा बहुत छोटा सा ये एक एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं, ये इसीलिए कि हम भगवान को, भगवान की महिमा को अगर समझ सकें। तो क्या बोलते हैं, ये अब सबसे धनी, सबसे ज्ञानवान, सबसे यशस्वी, है ना, और सबसे बलशाली, let's add the fourth factor as well, the most strength। इनमें भी चलो ये चारों का एक का तीनों का नाम आ जाए ना। Still, let's say for the sake of simplicity, we say Musk, Bezos and Bill Gates। They all are the most knowledgeable, the most strength, most famous and most richest. अब पांचवा सुंदरता, ब्यूटी. अब क्या बोलोगे प्रतीक? हाँ? What do you say now? हाँ? What would others say now? सुंदरता हम जोड़ सकते हैं क्या? अब एक ऐसा व्यक्ति लेके आओ, बताओ, जो सबसे धनी है, सबसे ज्ञान है, सबसे बलशाली है, सबसे यशस्वी एकदम, और साथ ही साथ सबसे सुंदर. क्या वो प्रतीक आप म्यूट में चले गए क्या?
नहीं,
तो अभी
सारी
कौन आएगा?
चीजें एक व्यक्ति पे तो फिट नहीं हो सकती ना.
हाँ, इसीलिए ना, हम लिविंग एंटिटीज है, व्यक्ति में फिट नहीं हो सकती. और
हम्म,
भगवान दिव्य है ना? यही यही भगवान है. इसीलिए ही कृष्ण भगवान है ना. शास्त्रों में तो अनेकों ब्रह्म संहिता पढ़ेंगे, भागवतम पढ़ेंगे, सभी जगह कृष्ण का ही उल्लेख है, कृष्ण की ही महिमा है. एकलौता कृष्ण ही है जिसमें ऐसी सामर्थ्य है, क्षमता है ना. सर्व सामर्थ्य अगर कोई है, सामर्थ्य मतलब
अच्छा,
सक्षम मतलब,
capable to do things.
हाँ, है ना, दमखम रखने वाला, है ना, डंके की. और लोग बोलते हैं ना भाई, सेल्फ मेड बनो, फलाना ढिमकाना, है ना. बाबा सेल्फ मेड तो कृष्ण ही है. कृष्ण ही है, बाकी कोई सेल्फ मेड नहीं है संसार में. सब हवाबाजी है, बहुत हवाबाजी है संसार में वास्तव में. तो ये सर्व सामर्थ, कृष्ण इज ऑल केपेबल. एंड एंड वी विल फाइंड अ लॉट ऑफ पीस. हमें बहुत शांति, बहुत राहत, बहुत सुकून मिलेगा जब हम ये जान ले कि भैया हम भगवान नहीं है. उफ, बाप रे, कितना प्रेशर हल्का हो जाएगा कि भाई मैं सबसे ज्यादा सुंदर नहीं हूँ, ना मैं बन सकती, ना मैं बन सकता, ना मैं सबसे ज्यादा धनवान ही वो. तो भैया हम अपने घोड़े को लगाम दे लेंगे ना अपने आप ही, है ना? और इसमें ब्यूटी एंड रिनंसिएशन, कैन वी कैन वी ब्रिंग एनी वन पर्सन, कोई एक पर्सन, वी कैन नेवर ब्रिंग एनी वन पर्सन हु इज मोस्ट, say, of any one of these, most renounced, and can we say okay, he's most renounced and most beautiful at the same time? No. This is why we have different competitions in this world, right? What? Mr. World, Miss World, Mr. Universe, Miss Universe. Now the winners of Mr. Universe, Miss Universe, if you make them sit in a quiz competition and test, let's check their knowledge, क्या होगा? बताओ. Can we do it? Such a competition, okay, like in Olympics there's this triathlon, pentathlon and stuff and all, right? Can we do this sort of arrangement? Okay, Mr. Universe and Miss Universe, now come to this quiz competition. Let's check your knowledge, academic material knowledge, even let it be, let's check that, huh? And then come to the fame platform. Let's see how much can you connect. Fame कैसे भाई, कितना आप connect कर पाओ audience से? How much can you connect with the worldwide audience, and how popular or famous can you become or are? And let's check your strength now, Mr. Universe, Miss Universe. And by strength, not just physical strength, even mental strength as well, your courage, motivation. Hmm? And let's see how renounced you are, how detached you are, meaning how peaceful you are, how not attached to matter you are, how not dependent, how not bound up you are. Can we bring any one personality? Also, see the irony. See how our mind is so corrupt and carrying such a low energy. We really, हम पागल हो जाते हैं. ओ, ये सबसे बड़ा धनी है ना? और भारत में कैसे लोग भाई, भारत में तो आजकल अंबानी चल रहा है. हाँ, मैं अंबानी की कंपनी में. एंड देन we may not be at that level, but then we rank ourselves. भाई मेरे को तो 25 साल की उम्र में करोड़पति बनना है. 30 में मैं करोड़पति बन जाऊंगा. 40 में इतना कर लूंगा, 45 में इतना, 50 में इतना, ये इतना ही इतना, ये सब टिक मार्क कर लेना इत्यादि. So we push ourselves in that race. We may not be competing with the likes of, say, Ambani's or Bezos or Bill Gates and Musk, but then we create our own circle, say, of competition and all, and it's not at all worth. It's not at all worth. It's not a good use of our energy, valuable energy which we are carrying. एक चुटकुला सुनाऊं क्या? हाँ?
Yes.
Um, Ellen, would you like to hear a joke? But every one of us has to laugh then. Otherwise, I will look silly, isn't it? So, see, every one of us know Albert Einstein, right? And those who have seen his image, check out on his image as well, Google Images or something. Albert Einstein. He was once proposed by a, say, Miss Universe at that point in time. If at all it happened, there was no Miss Universe at that point in time. But say he was proposed by a very beautiful, young, beautiful lady girl. And what did she say? Oh, Albert, you're so clever. You're so intelligent. Wow, amazing brain you have got. I so much admire you. Uh, I mean, so much of awe, reversion. I'm in love with you, Albert. What do I say? I'm in love with you. Huh? Kindly marry me. I think we two should get married. Actually, we are made for each other. See, you are the most intelligent person in this world, far beyond, no comparison. And I'm the most beautiful girl in this world, again, far beyond, no comparison. So we should, both of us should get married and see when we unite, huh? When we bring a child in this world, wow, look how glorious our child will be. He will be unique. He will be unique. So unique. Such a beautiful proposal I have got for you, Albert. Obliged by it. Let's get married. Come, let's go. Huh? Come, let's go for the marriage ceremony now. So, पता है एल्बर्ट ने क्या रिप्लाई दिया? You know what Albert replied then? Albert said, yes, Miss Universe, you have come up with a very good proposal. Certainly, you are beautiful. Uh, and yeah, if you see so that I'm so knowledgeable and all. Honestly, many scientists like Einstein, Newton, and many others like even Dr. Penrose recently who got Nobel Peace Prize in physics. I don't remember what his work was, and many others. They were so humble. Through the research work, through the studies, all they discovered is the glories of God, the glories of Krishna, how beautiful his mind is. And they felt we are what? We are just like pebbles. Uh, we are just extracting, we are just assembling and all. But look at his glorious mind. So Albert says, certainly, yeah, you are very beautiful. And thanks for your proposal. But there is a slight catch. There's a not a slight catch, more than a catch. There's a big risk factor involved. Say, what about you were saying our child, and he will be so like unique. Hmm? Um, my knowledge and your beauty combined together, and what a unique product will come out. But imagine if the child has got looks of me and brain like you, तब क्या होगा? What will happen then? हाँ? अगर जो बालक है, जो बच्चा है, उसमें तुम्हारी बुद्धि आ जाए, तुम्हारी जैसी बुद्धि आ जाए और मेरा जैसा उसके लुक सुंदरता आ जाए, तो क्या होगा? बाप रे, संसार में हम हंसी के पात्र बन जाएंगे ना. Will be a matter of joke or laughter all over the world. The child's future will be matter of laugh and joke all over the world ना, कि भाई देखो बुद्धि है तो तुम्हारी जैसी आ गई और मेरे जैसे अगर उसमें लुक्स आ गए, बाप रे क्या हो जाएगा। सो माता जी, अल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन सेड, डियर माता जी, I respectfully deny your proposal. खैर, तो संसार में हमें कोई ऐसा व्यक्ति नहीं मिलेगा जो दो चीज कैटेगरी में टिक मार्क कर सके हम, है ना, दो इन चीजों को लेके। कोई भी दो ला दो आप, सुंदर और फिर आसक्त नहीं है, बाप रे, असंभव, है ना। वी सी अ पर्सन हु इज समवट बॉडीली ब्यूटीफुल, है ना, स्किन का ही अच्छी चमड़ी है, अच्छा हाइट है इत्यादि, somewhat who is bodily beautiful, but can we expect that person to be renounced, detached? Oh, no. See, tell from your experience. Hmm? But Krishna ke charitra mein, in the personality of Krishna, in the character of Krishna, we find every box is being ticked nicely. Nicely as in beyond nicely. So this is why. And again, who is richest today? Elon Musk. 5 years back, was he the richest personality? 10 years back? 15 years back? He may not be. No, he certainly was not. If we take a IQ test to say parameterize someone's knowledge, was that person the best IQ holder previous year, previous 5 years? No. Someone's fame, someone's strength. Every year, why do we have Mr. Universe, Miss Universe? Why do we need to do this? Okay, this is a question for all of you. Why do we have to do this every year, Miss Universe and Mr. Universe? Because the person who has become Miss Universe in 2020, if you contest her again in 2021, she wouldn't be able to win the Miss Universe crown again 2021. Again in 2022, she cannot, है ना। जो 2010 में बनी होगी समझो, ये विश्व सुंदरी, 2011 में, आज 2022, 12 साल ही हुए हैं। 12 साल क्या बड़ी बात है। आज वो विश्व सुंदरी लगेगी क्या, विश्व सुंदरी। लेकिन भगवान, है ना, कृष्ण के गुणगान में क्या बताते हैं, नित्य यौवन है कृष्णा, नित्य यौवन, एवर फ्रेश एवर यूथफुल, एवर फ्रेश एवर यूथफुल। तो कभी भी करवा लो, भगवान हमेशा ही मिस्टर यूनिवर्स निकलेंगे एकदम ही। कभी भी करवा लो, तैयार है कृष्णा एकदम मिस्टर यूनिवर्स। बट ये जो संसार में मिस्टर यूनिवर्स, मिस यूनिवर्स है, दे आर मिस्टर यूनिवर्स और मिस यूनिवर्स फॉर 1 year ओनली सर, देन एक्सपायरी, है ना। सच शॉर्ट लिव फेम, सच शॉर्ट लिव ब्यूटी एंड एवरीथिंग। तो ये भगवान ऐसा नहीं है ना, इसीलिए कृष्णा इज गॉड सिंस इटर्निटी बाबा, एंड ही हैड नथिंग टू डू टू बिकम गॉड। ओनली अ फुलिश पर्सन हैज टू डू समथिंग टू बिकम गॉड। देन भाई, सच अ फूल, है ना, जो ऐसा सोचता है या समझता है कि कुछ करके मैं भगवान बन जाऊंगा। नितांत मूर्ख है वो, नितांत, complete fool who thinks or considers, okay, let me do some sadhana, let me do some arrangement, let me do some spiritual practice, some yoga, some this and that, and I become God then, है ना, and I will accept disciples, I will take disciples then, हाँ, फिर मैं शिष्य बनाऊंगा और मैं अपने शिष्यों को भगवान बनने का फॉर्मूला बताऊंगा। Ludicracy, that's height of ludicracy. So this is the meaning of Bhagwan. Okay, this is a question more for say our Hindi speaking audience. हाँ, ये बताइए, कोई व्यक्ति धनी होता है, उसको क्या बोलेंगे हिंदी में? अच्छा धन हो जिसके पास।
धनवान।
बहुत बढ़िया अभिषेक, बहुत बढ़िया, यस, धनवान। तो अब बताओ, जिसके पास बहुत अच्छा ज्ञान है, क्या बोलेंगे?
ज्ञानी।
ज्ञानी या ज्ञानवान भी बोल सकते हैं ना।
ज्ञानवान।
है ना? हाँ, बहुत सुंदर। हाँ, और सुंदर जो उसको क्या बोलेंगे?
रूपवान।
रूपवान, रूपवती या रूपवान, है ना? तो धनवान, ज्ञानवान, जिसमें बहुत बल हो, क्या बोलेंगे उसको?
बलशाली।
बलवान।
बलशाली, बलवान, है ना? बलशाली या बलवान, है? फिर ऐसे करके सारे भाग्यों का, हाँ, जिसमें बहुत यश है, समझो जो बहुत प्रसिद्ध है, उसको क्या बोलेंगे?
भगवान।
ना, ऐसे सारे सारे इन ऐश्वर्यों का समागम कराओ तो भगवान। वान मतलब धारण करता, वान मतलब धारण करता, जिसने धरा हुआ है। और भैया कृष्ण ऐसी पर्सनैलिटी है ना, एक बार कोई चीज पकड़ लेना, छोड़ते नहीं है वो, नहीं छूटता। या तो पकड़ेंगे, नहीं तो पकड़ेंगे नहीं, पकड़ लिया तो भैया फिर भगवान छोड़ते नहीं है। यही भगवान को ये छोड़ना नहीं आता पकड़ के, है ना? तो धारण कर रखे हैं भगवान ने अनादिकाल से। नेचुरल, सहज, अगेन नेचुरल। तो सारे ऐश्वर्यों का, भाग्यों का जो धारण करता है ना, वो भगवान। कौन? श्री श्री वृंदावन चंद्र, श्री श्री कृष्ण, श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर, वो है भगवान। भागवत गीता से एक दर्शन भगवान ये देते हैं। क्या बताते हैं हमें? इतना ही बता, देखो भागवत गीता का एक प्रकार से सार क्या है, यही है। क्या? अरे दीवानो, मुझे पहचानो, है ना? कहाँ से आया, मैं हूँ कौन? मैं हूँ डॉन। वास्तव में डॉन को है ना, छलिया एक नंबर कृष्ण ही है। एक नंबर कुछ है तो वो कृष्ण ही है वास्तव में। लेकिन संसार में जो छलिया है ना, वो कष्ट पहुंचाता है लोगों को। और वो एक पापमय वृत्ति से ही किया जाता है। लेकिन भगवान तो पाप और पुण्य के परे हैं। तो भगवान का छल करना भी सो कॉल्ड छल है। छल करके क्या करते हैं भगवान? चित्त को हर लेते हैं, है ना? इसलिए एक नाम क्या है कृष्ण का? चित्त चोर। चित्त को चुरा लेते हैं। और चित्त में हमारे क्या है? गंदगी के अलावा कुछ नहीं है भैया। काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, मद, मात्सर्य, इसके अलावा क्या है? किसी दिन हम देख लेना, हम डिप्रेस्ड हो जाएंगे, हमारे अंदर के क्या है तो पता चल जाए, हमारे हमारे मन में क्या चल रहा है, हम डिप्रेस हो जाएंगे वास्तव में, पागल हो जाएंगे। तो ऐसे है कृष्ण, ऐसे हमारे गंदे चित्त को चोरी करके उसमें दिव्य रस से भर देते हैं, दिव्य प्रेम से भर देते हैं। तो ये भगवान। अब बताओ, आप सब तो पढ़े लिखे हो ना, अभिषेक, हर्षा, प्रीति, अ, बताओ भगवान का इससे पहले समझ में था क्या हम सबको, क्या क्या अर्थ है भगवान का?
नो।
हाँ? शून्य, बोल रहा हूँ ना। बड़ी विडंबना है, हम भारतीय हो के भी हम भारतीय नहीं है बाबा। बिन पेंदी के लोटे बने पड़े हम। भारतीय हो के भी देखो, भारतीय नहीं है। भारत भूमि की जो वास्तविक धन है, जो हमारा वास्तविक श्री, ओपुलेंस, क्या है हमारा ओपुलेंस? भागवत गीता, है ना? उससे तो हम इतने परिचित ही नहीं है। भगवान का ही हमें पता नहीं कि क्या संस्कृत अर्थ है इत्यादि। और ऐसा नहीं है कि मेरे को भी कोई पहले से पता था और अब पता चल रहा है थोड़ा बहुत, तो मैं आपको क्लास लगा रहा हूँ। नो, द मैसेज इज that we have alienated ourselves a big deal, big time from scriptures, and it is only by the mercy, sheer mercy of Prabhupada's spiritual master, the parampara of spiritual masters, and the present devotees, predominantly the present devotees, through whom we get to understand the meaning of Bhagwan, the personality of Godhead, and we find encouragement, inspiration, motivation, clarity to practice Krishna consciousness and see a wholesale sublime change in our lifestyle, in our consciousness, है ना? भगवान जो धारण करता है, तो सारे भाग्यों का धारण करने वाला कौन है? कौन है? श्री कृष्ण ही। और देख सकते हैं ना भगवान की लीला में, देखिए सब दिखता है। सुंदरता में है क्या, बताओ अब आप? कृष्ण से सुंदर कोई नहीं भाई, ज्ञान के माध्यम में ना। और भी कई आज के डेट में भी ना, so many world leaders, the leader of Indonesian country, I'm not sure if he is the current leader or not, but few years back he was then the leader, and in an open national media interview within his country, he named, like, they asked him who is your favorite personality, who do you look up to and all, name us one or two or three something, and he named Krishna. He named Krishna and the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Likewise, there are many. Yeah. So we understand, we read Srimad Bhagavad Gita and we try to understand. Okay, any question, comment, or any clarifications or additions, please? All right, so let's share screen and read one more. Again, the next is also beautiful. So this is Krishna is a bit shocked. कि भाई ये, how come this has come to you? Now, and he's saying, this does not befit a man who knows the value of life. तो देखिए एक और बात, भागवत गीता में भगवान कहीं पे भी छोटी वाणी का इस्तेमाल नहीं करते हैं, छोटी बोली का. कृष्ण नेवर स्पीक्स लाइक a bit rude or rough or low language, no. कितना भगवान क्या बोल रहे हैं? अनार्य जुष्टम अस्वर्गम. अनार्य, आर्य मतलब one who is civilized, one who knows the value of life. And Krishna is saying, भाई तुम अनार्य, why are you acting like this? One who does not know these are not befitting. अनार्य जुष्टम अस्वर्गम अकीर्तिम करम अर्जुना. तो भगवान भले ही शौक और ये सब बता भी नहीं रहे ना, स्टिल इन सच अ रेस्पेक्टेबल टोन. सो भागवत गीता के अध्ययन से, बाय द स्टडी ऑफ भागवत गीता, आवर स्पीच विल गेट वेरी प्योरिफाइड, है ना. Our speech, actually tongue uses very abusive language. Even it's a very shame that even females around the world, they also swear a lot now, use abusive language. And having said that, it doesn't give men any license to swear or use abusive language. No, it doesn't give men an iota of a license that okay, man is allowed to swear or use abusive language. Neither of them are actually should be using. Again, someone who swears or uses a abusive language, it shows that he's having frustration. These are the symptoms of frustration and weakness. And these are the symptoms of insecurity. Only an insecure person will use swearing and abusive languages. Gali galoch na, abhadra shabd. माताएं भी देती है ना. और कौन माताएं? सो कॉल्ड पढ़ी लिखी माताएं, है ना. सो कॉल्ड स्कूल कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ी लिखी माताएं जो जॉब्स वगैरह करती हैं, व्यापार करती हैं, वही गाली गलौज देती है. बाप रे, खुला ही खुला, बताओ. और इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि कोई पुरुषों को कोई अधिकार मिल गया कि भैया हम वो दे दें गाली गलौज, माताएं ना देना. किसी को ही नहीं देना चाहिए ना. लेकिन क्या करे भाई, जीवा का इस्तेमाल नहीं किया ना भागवत गीता के अध्ययन में, भागवत गीता के श्लोका का उच्चारण करने में, गीत को गाने में. अरे कितना दिव्य सौभाग्य हमारा. साक्षात भगवान श्री कृष्ण के मुखारविंद से, है ना, उनकी मुख वाणी से निकले ये शब्द है, इनको तो हमें सर पे रखना चाहिए, गाना चाहिए ना. तो देखो वाणी कितनी शुद्ध हो जाएगी. गाली गलोच इत्यादि कुछ का स्थान नहीं रहेगा फिर जीवा पे. वरना तो यही है, गाली दो या गाली सुनो, यही जीवन है भाई, है ना. अदरवाइज लाइफ इज दिस ओनली, swear at others and listen to curses as well. Okay, so we shall try reading one more if time permits us. Otherwise, we'll go straight into Gaura Arati. Let's see. Huh? For now, let's see if we can read one more. Shri Shri Khodanita Mayapur Sashi Ki Jai. श्री तुलसीनाथ महाराज की जय, श्री गिरधारी लाल की जय, श्री नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय. Okay, let's maybe continue reading. क्लेब्यमास्मगमपार्थ नेतत्त्वयुपपद्यते शूद्रं हृदय दौर्बल्यं त्यक्त्वोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप. Okay, Anuradha Mataji, read just translation. If you can read.
Yes. O son of Pritha, do not yield to this degrading impulsion. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy.
Thank you. Pratik, read the purport, please. Okay, Abhishek, you read purport, if you can.
Yeah. Arjun was addressed as the son of Parth, who happened to be the sister of Krishna's father Vasudeva. Therefore, Arjuna had a blood relationship with Krishna. If the son of the Kshatriya declines to fight, he is a Kshatriya is name only. And if the son of Brahmana acts impiously, he is a Brahmana in name only. Such Kshatriya and Brahmanas are unworthy sons of their fathers. Therefore, Krishna did not want Arjuna to become an unworthy son of a Kshatriya. Arjuna was most intimate friend of Krishna, and Krishna was directly guiding him on a chariot. But in spite of all these credits, if Arjuna abandoned the battle, he would be committing an infamous act. Therefore, Krishna said that such an attitude in Arjuna did not fit his personality. Arjuna might argue that he would give up the battle on the grounds of magnanimous attitude for the most respect, respectable Bhishma and his relatives, but Krishna considered that sort of magnanimity mere weakness of heart. Such false magnanimity was not approved by any authority. Therefore, such one second. Therefore, such magnanimity or so-called non-violence should be given up by persons like Arjun under the direct guidance of Krishna.
Read translation again.
O son of Parth, do not yield to this degrading impulsion. It does not become you. Give up such pretty weakness of heart and arise, O, o gestures of the enemy.
Thank you. So देखिए कितना सुंदर बोल रहे हैं भगवान यहाँ पे. और एक एक थोड़ा सामान्य दृष्टिकोण से भी हम देखें ना, तो ये भगवान कितना एनकरेज कर रहे हैं, कितना एनकरेजिंग कह रहे हैं अर्जुन से, क्या कि उठो, हाँ उठो. एक बार देखो, गिव अप सच petty weakness of heart, arise, arise, क्लेबियम मास में गम पार्थ, है ना, नेतत्वयि उपपद्यते, कि भाई ये तुम में कैसे क्या आ गया. हाँ? और ये शूद्रम, शूद्रम मतलब पेटी ना, एकदम अनइम्पोर्टेंट एकदम. हृदय दौर्बल्यम, हृदय का दौर्बल्यम, दौर्बल्यम हम समझते हैं ना, वीकनेस, दुर्बल, दुर्बलता, हृदय की दुर्बलता. त्यक्त्वा तिष्ठ परंतपा, इसको छोड़ो और उठो. अब देखिए ये गेट अप, ये उठो शब्द अपने आप में कितना ये ऐसे एक मोटिवेटिंग है ना. और बोलते ही हम घर परिवार में सभी जगह कि भाई उठो, छोड़ो ये सब, उठो उठो, है ना. और भगवान क्या कह रहे हैं, हमारी सारी समस्या ना ये हृदय की दुर्बलता, वीकनेस ऑफ द हार्ट, weakness of the heart. Why? Because our heart is not properly aligned. Heart is not in the right place. This is why we experience a lot of weakness of the heart. है ना? अभी हार्ट अटैक कितना कॉमन हो गया विश्व भर में. हार्ट अटैक इज सो कॉमन विश्व इन वर्ल्ड वाइड, एंड इज गेटिंग वेरी कॉमन इन इंडिया. हार्ट अटैक. अब हार्ट अटैक किस लिए आता है? भाई हार्ट इज बिकमिंग वीक और समथिंग ऑन दोज लाइन्स ना. And actually, why weakness of heart? Because there is lack of clarity. There is lack of clarity, or there is a huge clash between our expectations and desires. Yeah? There is a huge clash, a clash building up, building up, building up, so much so that it leads to a heart attack. Heart में अटैक हो गया है, अटैक कर दिया है ना. देखो शब्दों को भी कई बार हम क्या है, शब्दों को समझ नहीं पाते हैं या कवर अप कर देते हैं, उसको ढक देते हैं. हार्ट अटैक का क्या, कि भाई किसी ने छाती में है ना धावा कर दिया हो, हमला कर दिया. और हार्ट से कहने का आशा कई बार प्राण भी है ना. हार्ट मतलब द कोर, द मेन. सो समवन हैज penetrated or attacked our very existence, our very being, the core of our very being, the core of our very functioning. वो समवन कौन है? हमारा ही खुद की दुर्बलता है, हमारी खुद की कमजोरी, हमारी खुद की लैक ऑफ कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस, है ना. क्या क्या कारण है उसका? यही है मुख्यतः, क्या इच्छा और अपेक्षा का क्लैश हो रहा है भाई. होते होते बढ़ते बढ़ते डिजायर्स एंड एक्सपेक्टेशंस, दे आर नॉट अलाइंड, they do not shake hands, they do not meet up, and which leads to frustration, and then there is a build up leading to what? Oh, attack in the heart, because of all these emotions and everything going on. Why? Because again, there is not a, we do not live in a relationship with Krishna. We leave Krishna for now, say. We do not live in a relationship with our own nature, with our own mind, uh, with our own, certainly not with our spiritual nature. Or so Bhagwan Krishna is telling Arjuna, give up this petty weakness of heart. So all of his arguments, Krishna is telling them petty. Look, Arjuna is giving such big arguments, and Krishna is saying that this is just because of petty weakness of heart. So far, Krishna is just discarding. And see, from management point of view as well, Krishna is acting as such a great manager. Krishna plays all roles for Arjuna. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead as well for Arjuna. He is his parent as well for Arjuna. He is the guardian as well in this instance. He is the manager as well in this instance. He is the leader. He is the friend as well. And he is the spiritual master as well, guru as well. Krishna covers everything for Arjuna. Likewise for us also, Krishna will cover everything. Yeah. माता कृष्ण, पिता कृष्ण, कृष्ण धन प्राण. ओके, आप लोग 1 मिनट होल्ड करिएगा. Hare Krishna. So, petty weakness of heart, no? Because heart is not properly channelized. Because we do not live in the relationship with Krishna. But see, as a manager as well, Krishna is what, like if you tell someone, oh, give this up, just get up and fight and all. So Krishna is motivating. He's saying, इतना ही बोल के अर्जुन मान जाता है कि नहीं, है ना. Krishna is checking, okay, if I say this, and does it, Arjuna becomes convinced and all, and if he starts fighting, well and good, and we go in our engagement, in our participation, in our duty, है ना. And so Krishna is checking Arjuna's pulse a bit in here, and also giving him, telling him this, that all of a sudden, na, as a shock or something, Krishna wasn't expecting as such from Arjuna. तो भगवान अर्जुन को ये कह रहे हैं, त्यक्त्वा उत्तिष्ठ परंतपा. और अर्जुन को थोड़ा सा to motivate and encourage him. Okay, any question or comment? Thoda, when we go a bit further, na, then we'll take more stock of in retrospect of these shlokas, and then we'll see how this weakness of heart is such a strong thing actually. And our problem is also because of this weakness of heart. Why? Because mind is not clear. करूं कि ना करूं, क्या ना करूं, है ना? यही समस्या है. क्यों? The best thing to get, okay, a question. What is the best way to get rid of this weakness of heart? We also go through this, right? Weakness of heart at certain points in our life. What is the best way to come out of this weakness of heart? A question for all of you. Huh? सिंपल जवाब बताऊं? देखो, कृष्णा भावनामृत बहुत सिंपल है, बहुत सरल है. जवाब भी सारे सिंपल सरल ही. तो सिंपल जवाब सरल क्या है ना, हाउ टू गेट रिड या कम आउट ऑफ दिस वीकनेस ऑफ हार्ट, पैटी वीकनेस ऑफ हार्ट. क्या? अपना हार्ट, है ना, हमारा हृदय भगवान को दे दो. If we give, if we offer, if we submit our hearts to Krishna, then there won't be any petty weakness of heart. तो अपना हृदय हम भगवान को दे देना, फिर कोई ये हृदय की दुर्बलता नहीं रहेगी. ठीक है, सो अगला देखते हैं. केवल अनुवाद पढ़ते हैं. हाँ, just again I'm trying to be a bit picky with time, and again as we had previously done chapter 2 as well. So Harsha, आप पढ़ो 4, 5, 6 only translations.
Arjuna said, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows in battlemen like Bhisma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we killed the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield.
Hare Krishna. So see again, beautiful therapy going on. Krishna isn't speaking much, and he's trying to. Arjuna was first initially saying, "Na, that put my chariot. I want to assess the situation. Who all have come here to fight and all." So now Krishna is also assessing Arjuna's pulse as well. How much is in fever? Krishna is checking. So Krishna said, like Kutastva Kashmalamedam, he expressed his shock on Arjuna's behavior. Visame Samupastitam. Now that we all have assembled here, how come this thought has come upon you? At this point in, huh, you could have discussed this like before and all. How come now this such a thought has come upon you? So Krishna expressed his surprise. Anarya justam aswargam akirtikaram Arjuna. It doesn't befit a person, one who is Arya. So indirectly Krishna is telling Arjuna, you are an Arya and it doesn't suit you. Huh? Nicely motivating. नाइसली मोटिवेटिंग. तो भगवान भी अर्जुन की देख रहे हैं कितना तेज बुखार लगा उनको, अर्जुन को, और देख रहे हैं कि भाई थोड़ा सा डांट पटकार के और थोड़ा सा प्रोत्साहन करके अगर अर्जुन की गाड़ी चल जाए तो बढ़िया बात है, फिर चलें आगे. हाँ, लेकिन इतना कह के भगवान शांत हो गया. भगवान भी भाव देख रहे हैं थोड़ा सा. भगवान बड़ा थोड़ा आश्चर्य सा प्रकट कर रहे हैं इत्यादि, और अर्जुन को पूरा मौका दे रहे हैं. भगवान पूरा मौका दे रहे हैं अपने मन की बात रखने के लिए, अपने दिल की बात पूरी निकाल के रखें. और अर्जुन का अभी तक मन नहीं भरा ना, अभी तक मन नहीं भरा. तो देखिए, जो बड़ी-बड़ी बात है ना, वो अर्जुन ने पहले बोल दी. पहले अध्याय में 30वां 28, 29, 30 श्लोका में, है ना? जो दिल की बात एकदम बड़ी थी, वो बोल दी कि भाई मेरे दादा और मेरे गुरुजी को देख के मैं कैसे ऐसा करूँ? मेरे तो भाई रोना छूट रहा है, कंपन हो रही है, गांडी मेरा छूटा जा रहा है इत्यादि. फिर उन्होंने बता दिया था, ठीक है भाई, सुख नहीं मिलेगा, पाप चढ़ेगा, है ना? पूरा संसार, संसार मतलब क्या? संसारी सुख और पाप, संसारी सुख और पाप, और कुछ नहीं है संसार का मतलब, इसी के अंदर है बस. पूरे संसार का सार ही ये है बाबा. संसारी सुख के पीछे भागे रहो, और उस भागने के पीछे में हम कितने पाप कर बैठते हैं, बस वही चलते आ रहे हैं, वही चलते आ रहा है. तो फिर अर्जुन कहते हैं सुख और पाप, और बाद में कि भाई ये प्रथा, कल्चर इत्यादि, बच्चों का, कुल परिवार का क्या होगा, ब्राह्मणों का क्या होगा. हाँ? तो ऐसे करके अब फिर वापस अर्जुन की सुई देखिए मुख्य कहाँ अटक रही है, वहीं पे अर्जुन से अब रहा नहीं जा रहा है. तो वो अर्जुन कृष्ण से फिर से कह रहे हैं वापस आके. और देखिए अर्जुन को इतना सामर्थ्य नहीं उठा पा रहे, वो अपने आप में इतना पल नहीं उठा पा रहे हैं कि वो कृष्ण को सहज साफ साफ कह दें कि भाई मैं युद्ध नहीं कर रहा कृष्ण. भगवान से ना, अर्जुन की स्थिति ऐसी है ना, मैं ना भी नहीं कर सकता, हाँ भी नहीं कर सकता. अब ऐसी कई बार हमारे साथ भी ऐसी स्थिति होती है ना. Arjuna's position is like this only. He's struggling to say yes as well, he's struggling to say no as well. He's not able to say a clear no to Krishna, and he's not able to say a clear yes as well to Krishna, or to his mind, or to his mind for that matter, or to himself for that matter. Likewise, हम भी, we also say going for a job interview and we have got this job and we have something to choose, or say, or starting a relationship, getting engaged or marriage or like that. Now many times cannot say yes as well, cannot say no as well, and mind is reeling, mind is reeling what to do. So Arjuna is again going back to his main thing. What is he saying? 4, 5, 6. O killer of Madhu, how can I counter attack with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona? Now look, he's calling whom? Bhishma and Drona. And few days back we read what he was saying, that bring my chariot in between. I want to see who have assembled here, desiring to please the evil-minded sons of Dhritarashtra. है ना? वहां पे अर्जुन क्या कह रहे थे? दुर्बुद्धि धृतराष्ट्र पुत्र, कि धृतराष्ट्र के जो दुर्बुद्धि बालक हैं उनको सहयोग देने कौन कौन आए मैं देखूं. प्रीडोमिनेटली दुर्योधन इन पार्टी. अब यहाँ पे लेकिन जो उनकी अर्जुन की अनुकंपा है ना, देखिए, till before text 21, 23 or up until now, Arjuna never said Bhishma and Drona. It was only when he said, put my chariot in between, and I want to assess. So Krishna put the chariot in between and put him under illusion, or Krishna showed him where his real problem is, where the real problem lies. Problem with us in life is we are escapist. We live life as an escapist. We do not try to see where the real problem is. We run away or we hide. We live in so much of cover up. But for Arjuna, Krishna was not wanting him to be in cover up. So we see Arjuna never said, I want to see my grandfather and teacher. No. And Krishna showed him, Pashyati, na, showed him grandfather and teacher. Now Arjuna is saying, he's taking the name Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship. It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Huh? So, such still so much of respect, adoration, and he's happy to surrender his life. He's happy to live by begging. Uh, so much of weakness of heart, so much of material compassion. So it's a mismatch of emotions. uh, Mismatch. Somewhere he's trying to show his magnanimity as well, but his intelligence has become corrupt, polluted. तो वैसा औदार, वैसा दान क्या काम का जहां बुद्धि खराब हो चुकी है, आपकी बुद्धि भ्रष्ट हुई हुई है। ऐसा त्याग भी कोई काम का नहीं है जहां बुद्धि भ्रष्ट हुई हुई है भाई। क्या काम का ऐसा त्याग, है ना? अपनी कर्तव्य को समझो, उसका पालन करो बाबा। ये त्याग तो भगोड़ेपन की बात है ना, युद्ध ना करना इत्यादि। भगवान खंडन करेंगे इन सब का आगे। और अर्जुन कह रहे, नो डू वी नो विच इज बेटर, कॉन्करिंग देम और अगेन बीइंग कॉन्कर्ड बाय देम। सो हिज माइंड इज अगेन भयंकर mental breakdown he's having, huge mental breakdown. Hmm. Hmm. So he's still acknowledging and still showing his such kindness, still showing such of his kindness towards them, and he's really tormented. What to do, what not to do. See this purport, if I'm just skimming through, his desire to live by begging, although he was born in the royal household, is another sign of detachment. इतने born in a royal household ना, और फिर भी भिक्षा मांग के वो जीने को तैयार है। कितना वैराग देखिए, और किसके लिए? ताकि गुरुजन मेरे ठीक रहें, दादा ठीक रहें। ठीक है भाई, दुर्योधन को जो चाहिए दे दो, है ना? माताएं बच्चे और सब ठीक रहे, चलो चलने दो ऐसा, है ना? तो एडजस्ट करने को तैयार है अर्जुन, एडजस्ट। लेकिन भगवान नहीं चाहते ना एडजस्ट कराना, भगवान नहीं कराएंगे एडजस्ट, भगवान नहीं कराएंगे एडजस्ट। ठीक है, कोई प्रश्न, जिज्ञासा, या आप लोग कुछ कहना चाहो? तो अब tomorrow we will read from text 7, and text 7 is the climax. Tomorrow is the climax. Tomorrow is going to be the turning point, huge turning point in Arjuna's life, and likewise in our lives as well. There can come a turning point. Actually, in our lives, in this current life itself, a turning point would have come, but we have not, we have not seen it, or we are not aware of it. Why? Because we are not spiritually so conscious, or we haven't been blessed by good devotee association. And it's only when devotee association comes in our life, devotees come in our life, then we can see so many points as turning points in our life. Yeah, that's a turning point, that's a turning point. And we can see Krishna's hands working magic, his magic in our lives throughout. Until that, no, we do not see that magic being coming through, or if at all we see, it's more of a imagination or a thought process of our mind only. It's a concoction of our mind, makeup of our mind. So Arjuna is giving good mixed emotions and everything, his kindness as well, his willingness not to fight, and to live by begging. He's showing his signs of detachment and all, and he's not able to draw this courage to say a clear no to Krishna to fight. No, he doesn't want to upset Krishna as well, but he cannot fight as well and all. It's a very precarious situation for him. Likewise, for us as well in lives, we come across a huge precarious situation many a times. Okay, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or anything anyone would like to add or say? Okay, on this note, I give you all peace and we give this recording also peace. Hare Krishna.